When inking your printing plate, put down newspaper first and put your plate on top of it. Take an additional piece of styrofoam and then apply ink to it. Sometimes ink comes in a tube, sometimes it comes in a jar. If you're using the tube, all you do is squeeze it out like toothpaste, and all you're going to need is about 2 bits of toothpaste now, a small worm. Don't use too much, it'll mess up your project. If you're using the jar, you could open the jar and use a popsicle stick to scoop out like about that much and then add it to your plate. Keep the stick in the jar and put the lid on part of the way so it doesn't dry out. Next, you're going to use a brayer. We're going to use the same brayer for the same color. Use your brayer and roll the ink on your styrofoam. What you want to do is spread it out. There might already be ink on your styrofoam. When you hear the sticky sound, that's a good noise. Make sure that the ink is all the way around your brayer. Next, what you want to do is cover your styrofoam. You can already see the image starting to come out. When you need some, get a little bit more and continue inking your block. Make sure you have an even coverage on your entire block. Wherever you might see lighter areas, be sure to add ink there. Get all the way to the edges, top, bottom, and sides. When you're not using your brayer, flip it over and just set it on the bottom of your plate. Please do not lay your entire brayer in the ink. It's going to get ink all over the handle. When you're ready to print, move your block to a clean area and then lay your paper on top of it. You do not need to wet your paper for this type of ink. Center it, push it down, and very important, to rub it all over. You want to apply even pressure in the middle, the top, the bottom, and the sides. Here I'm just using a lot of pressure and little circular motions to make sure that it's going to transfer. You can even use the palm of your hand. This is a very important step. You may even see the image coming through. Last, pull off your print and see how it works. If your print is missing large areas of ink, that means for your next one, add more ink in a more uniform way, or apply more pressure. This one turned out pretty good because I can read it and see all of the images. If you want to keep your print, please put your name and period number on it and put it in the drying rack or on the drying table. What we do next is clean this off. So you can use soapy water and paper towels, you could use wipes, you could take it to the bathroom and wash it in the sink with soap. Just try not to make any marks on it. If you get soap on the sink, if you get ink on the sink, please wash it off. Before you clean this, be sure to clean your work area for the next person. So, if you got ink on your table, clean it off. Use wipes or spray to clean it off. Also, anything that you touch that other people might touch, you need to wipe that as well. So, our brayer handle needs to get wiped as well, so that the next person touching it doesn't get our germs. Try washing your plate off and trying a different color. Please don't contaminate the colors, so don't go to pink next, for example, and then roll on here because it'll pick up the black from your printing plate. Go and wash this off and make sure it's dry before you print it again. Also, don't forget to throw away any messed up newspaper that you have. So this is a small circular that just got ink on the front of it. Simply remove the first page, and then you can leave a clean piece of newspaper for the next person. If you're using a tube of ink, simply use it like toothpaste. Make it come all the way down to the edge, and then honestly put a tiny worm size amount. Don't add any more ink because it won't turn out well. It will actually make too much ink on your block, and then you won't be able to see it clearly because it'll go into the cracks. Same type of technique with the brayer, and remember to put it upside down, side to side, diagonal, and then you can get that good sticky technique. Once your brayer is completely filled and uniform with ink, you can again put your printing block, your clean dry printing block, on a piece of newspaper and then add the ink. Before you print it, look around and see if there's any spots that still need to be covered. I see some. Again, when you're not using your brayer, don't leave it like this and let the handle get all inky. Leave it towards the bottom. You can even flip it over so it won't roll. Set that aside. Put your printing block on a clean area and then apply the paper. Remember, you do not have to wet the paper for this type of ink, like we did with the watercolor and the markers. If your hands are messy, you might want to take a second and clean them off so you don't make streaks on the back of your page. And like I told you before, you want to make sure that you apply strong pressure to the back, middle, and sides. This is a really important step, and this actually will help you print it better, and you'll be able to see it better if you do this. There's also a tool called a brayer that some printers use. It looks like a circular disc, and they use the brayer to rub it on. A brayer is similar to your palm, so you could use your palm. Then peel it apart and see what happens. Hopefully you remembered that if you want to keep this, put your name and period number on it and put it in the drying rack or on the drying table. Again, your printing plate should be washed off and then dried in order to do the next block. You probably want to do this at the sink, but it can be done in the classroom using a couple paper towels and possibly some wipes. Remember, if your table is dirty, you definitely want to get some wipes and clean it. Don't leave a mess for the next person. They won't be happy. Lastly, anything that you touched should be wiped down. So, since someone else is going to touch this brayer handle next, you should wipe it off. Leave this out for the next person. This is a print that I did over 24 hours ago, and it's completely dry. One neat thing that you can do if you have time next class is add some more colors to this. So, see how I did these bushes? You can actually use different colored pencils, crayons, art sticks, pastels, anything like that to these objects. After you've decorated them and made them look how you want them to, choose one that you want to add to the class mural. You can take all the rest of them home. Thanks for watching.